one of the really impressive choices to me is your guys' choice of producers to work with. John Hill, Jeff Bhasker, Danger Mouse. These are the types of producers that all have a sort of Rick Rubin-esque quality to them, where they can flawlessly contribute their talents to like the rawest hip hop song, to multiple genres of music like rock, metal, soul, folk, funk. Um, was what you just sort of described the reason why you chose to work with them, and why it was important for you to work with producers like that?
Wow, I don't think I've ever picked a producer based on what they've done necessarily. Like, it's always like, I mean, we're a weird band. We like end up in rooms with people. I guess Basker would probably be the first one that I was like, as when I heard what he did with Kanye, like, I mean, I'm just gonna give my opinion on this. That's what opened up Kanye. Like,
Mm,
that's what where he became an artist. I mean, he was always an artist. It got, he found somebody's hands that could take him on the journey that
mhm,
he had in his head. And Basker is just such an incredible player. It's so fun to play with. I like people who will challenge you. I like people that, I mean, sitting down with Danger Mouse, he has such great taste. I mean, just I I love that you walk into a room with Danger Mouse and you go, I really want to make something that he likes because he's got great taste.
mhm.
And it's just going to be fun. And like, I love that he will, if I'm stumped, if I'm sitting at the keyboard and I'm going, not quite it, not quite it. I love it. He'll stand up and be like, I think I got something, and like, it's there until you beat it. I mean, I guess that's all the sports I played growing up too. Like, I like a competitive edge in the studio.
Mhm.
I like going in with John Hill and having a like him say like, it's that's not quite it. Like, why don't we pull out these pedals and like find a cool sound that leads you there. That's really what music creation for me personally is, that collaboration. And I want to be in rooms with people who want to push you and collaborate and have like a point too, you know.
What are some of the points that, because you mentioned Basker, Jeff Basker, the first time that I saw his credit was on the Games documentary album, and I'm like, who is this guy, right? And I'm just thinking he's like the Game Basker. I don't know, like I wanted a face to the name, and then I was watching these Vlad TV interviews where he's describing how he came up with the Runaway riff. That was insane to me, because it just, the way he explained it was the beauty of minimalism was the whole point of that. um, and that interview I learned something. What was something that you learned from working with him?
It's so going into rooms with people like that. He's made such, like, I mean, influential music. It's so been so influential on me personally. I'm like kind of in awe of this person. You go in there with him and you kind of realize that he's just kind of playing off the top of his head, and he's really like, he taught me how to focus my, like, what I'm trying to say. I mean, the record we made together, the album we made together, is like the most cohesive. Like, it's the closest thing to a concept album we've ever made. It has a through line. He really pushed me on those things, but his understanding of pocket, of just feel in general, like, being around somebody who can do this. I've only seen it a handful of times, and I don't care. Tell me you can do this, you can't. Like, you cannot do it. Like, at like Basker level. Oh, you're a little early with that vocal. It's actually here, and he does it, and you hear it, and you're like, yeah, that's it. It's like
Mm,
perfectly it, and it's like insignificant. Like, it is nothing. Like, there's. I mean, if you looked at it on a grid, it'd be slightly later than what I just did. but he hears that stuff. I mean, that's like some high level, like his brain's just moving faster than yours.
Yeah.
And he could always hear that stuff. I mean, there were points working with him where just understanding where the notes should be and like where they fit within the music. I mean, he's an amazing singer too. I don't know if you've heard his like vocals. Dude, if you ever get the chance and you can hear like his demos that he wrote for Beyonce and
Yeah.
the demos that he made, he sings that stuff better. He
Wow.
straight up sings it better than the performers because of that thing, like that feel. Like he just lands everything. He's always sticking it. Like I look at songwriting as if you're skateboarding or snowboarding. You're like sticking the landing, and it's like perfect transitions. Jeff is full of those. I watched him get out of bed and deliver like I was playing I was playing this song, and it was kind of a weirder progression, not something that's like super intuitive to me, like something where I would have to sit down and be like craft a melody. Jeff legit walks out of bed. He's in like this vocal, by the way, is like one of my vocals. Like it is like a super high falsetto. Uh it's kind of an odd chord progression. He gets out, he's still in his pajama pants, kind of clearing his throat. He's like, "Do you have a melody for this?" I'm like, "No, I have like a few lyrics." And I give him a few lyrics. And he's like, "Oh, cool, cool. Do you mind if I try something?" And he sits down and like clears his throat and he just takes the mic and start to finish, just he's hearing the notes before they're happening. He doesn't know this song. He doesn't know the chord progression, but perfectly delivers this like really great sketch of like here's an entire song start to finish. And he just kind of felt it out. Like he is the greatest musician I've ever been around. I've never seen anybody do what he does. I've seen good
Yeah.
singers. I've seen incredible vocalists. I've seen incredible beat makers. I've been around all these people. But yeah, you're in a room with Bhasker and there's something really special